I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel. Across the country, people are discovering that medical cannabis can be used to safely ease ailments associated with a variety of medical conditions, from nausea caused by chemotherapy to joint pain caused by rheumatoid arthritis. Medical cannabis has the capability to help people, quite simply, feel better. Every day, more and more people are opting to use it as a replacement to traditional prescription medications that may cause unwanted side effects. Our guests today are from RISE, Erie's medical marijuana dispensary. Jill Beck is the director, community engagement, and Dr. Elizabeth Harrington is a pharmacist with RISE. Ladies, thank you so much for coming on the program today.
Thanks for having us.
I think we have a lot that our viewers are going to be interested in. I know I talked to you ladies earlier, and just reading the questions, I really know nothing about this. So I'm so glad you're here to let us know exactly, when we pass that building RISE, exactly what happens and how it came to be. So anyhow, first, Jill, tell us a little bit about you. Since RISE is new, and I know both of you have been involved in the community, so how did you get on board?
So I did 12 years with Mayor Joe Sinnott's office prior to joining GTI, Green Thumb Industries, the parent company of RISE Dispensaries. The opportunity came up. Mayor Sinnott was coming to the end of his term, and I was looking for something that I could hold my head high and know that I was doing the right thing for the community, as that was always important to us. So I met Pete Cadence in July of 2017 and kept calling and emailing and keeping in touch. And here I am with RISE, 10 months into the program, helping people alleviate their pains and nausea and lots of ailments.
Well, good to have you on board.
You.
And Elizabeth?
Sure. So I am a recent graduate of pharmacy school. I worked in a traditional retail setting for about a year before I met Pete Cadence as well. And he's just such a charismatic and wonderful person. When I heard his story and what he was trying to do in these communities, I knew that I wanted to be involved. Pharmacists in Pennsylvania are lucky to have another option in their career. The Pennsylvania Department of Health requires that there is a pharmacist on site at all hours of operation in medical cannabis dispensaries. So I really wanted to be one of the first individuals to have that opportunity in Pennsylvania. Really helped to pave the way for the program. So very excited to do what I do every single day. It's very rewarding work.
And it is. It's an exciting opportunity.
Yes.
Not only for you two ladies, but also for our community.
Oh, absolutely.
First, I do want to talk, let's go back a little bit of history. And how long has medical marijuana, how long has it been available to Pennsylvania residents?
So Act 16 was signed by Governor Tom Wolf in April of 2016. That's the law that makes medical marijuana available to patients and to cardholders. It took about a year for cultivators and grow processors to get their facilities up and running. I believe cannabis just became available in February, so the first quarter of this year. And
so it has been around a little bit, but it's just coming into our community right now. Pretty much, well, the last 10 months or so.
Correct.
Right now. I want to talk about how I would be able to utilize the facility. But what I want to ask first is, when Erie RISE, they think of medical marijuana. You know, everybody is thinking, okay, everybody's sitting around smoking marijuana and stuff. So I'm just going to come right out and say, what type of products does RISE offer to the residents?
Sure. So we offer a wide variety of products, and we really help to guide patients in their decision on what types of products they use based on their history with cannabis, any previous experience, their specific ailments. We understand not every person wants to come in and consume the cannabis into their lungs. In fact, Pennsylvania only allows for consumption that way if the physical plant material or the oil is vaporized. So patients can't come in, purchase the physical plant material, and light it, combust it, smoke it, from a joint or a bong.
Mm-hmm.
That's one, misconception we're trying to squash.
Mm-hmm.
Patients are able to obtain the physical plant material for vaporization. It's a much cleaner, safer form of consumption. But aside from that, we also have concentrated cannabis oil that is in a tincture form. Tinctures are just administered under the tongue and absorbed very quickly into the bloodstream right from the mouth. We have capsule products available, other forms of concentrates, again, for vaporization. Topical products are very popular in our Rise Erie dispensary. And we also provide the ancillary units for patients to vaporize their products.
Okay. Now, I know I can't just walk in and say, I have a lot of aches and pains, so can you help me? I know there is a process. How, okay, say I do have, I'm in pain, say I'm undergoing chemotherapy, I'm in a lot of pain, or I have rheumatoid arthritis, or, you know, one of the many diseases that are very painful and uncomfortable. Tell me, what's my first step?
So the first step is to go to the Pennsylvania Department of Health website and initiate your patient profile. It's the easiest way to get your profile started, and then you have to go see a recommending physician. So there are about 20 physicians in Erie County who are currently eligible to recommend medical marijuana to residents. Once you have...
So not every doctor is able to. Okay.
Doctors must complete a 4-hour online course from one of 6 providers that are contracted with the state, with the Department of Health. Mm-hmm. So once you have your profile and you go see a recommending physician, they need to certify you. So you need to have your MRIs or your medical records indicating or proving that you have these certain conditions. Mm-hmm. There are 21 medical conditions that I'm sure that we'll get to shortly.
Which I do want to talk about also.
Once you are certified, you can go back online, pay for your card. They are coming in about 3 to 5 days to patients. So it's kind of a challenge. There's no paper that you can write down your information and send it to the Department of Health. Everything is online. We're helping lots of elderly patients and lots of people who don't have access to the internet, email addresses, those sorts of things, getting them the information that they need to initiate the process.
So if someone doesn't have access to a computer or is not comfortable doing that, they can come to Rise and you'd be able to help them? Is that where you do that, or is it in a different office?
So usually the staff at Rise will put them in touch with me, or they'll send them to the library to help
Got it.
set up an email address.
Okay, all right, because we're going to talk about, once I go to the building, the steps on that you have and the different security measures you have in place.
So I'm available all hours of the day and night to help people, take lots of phone calls. They do need to send a copy of their driver's license or their Pennsylvania ID card to me. That way I can just get into the system. It is tied to their driver's license, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, so they can take that photo from that driver's license or ID card and put it right on your medical marijuana card.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
They do make it easy in that regard.
Okay, since we were talking about security measures, when a patient comes to Rise and to the dispensary, what can they expect?
Sure. So they, in order to obtain access to the building, they have to present their medical marijuana card and then a form of ID, government-issued ID. That's just to ensure that, you know, only people who actually are allowed to have access to the building have access. That ensures patient safety and employee safety. So once they are verified in the system, they are buzzed in, of course greeted with a very warm and welcoming staff.
I know, how could they not? Really?
Yes.
You ladies are great.
Thank you. Upon their first visit, they are required to sit with a pharmacist or healthcare professional on site. We just do a basic consultation with them. We review any of their pharmaceutical medications, herbs or supplements they're taking, any health conditions that they have unrelated or related to their qualifying condition. And then we really talk to them about all the dosage forms available and then the benefits and risks of using cannabis. We want to make sure that our patients are 100% prepared for, you know, the first time that they're using their products.
Okay, I have a question. Who decides? Is it the doctor or is it the pharmacist, you, Elizabeth, decides what form or just, you know, what product I'll be using?
Sure.
Who decides that?
So doctors do have the option to set restrictions or recommendations on patient certifications. When they do that, of course, we are following those restrictions and recommendations. A lot of times, or I would say more often than not, They're pretty new to the products and new to the program, so they're kind of leaving it up to the dispensary personnel. So ultimately, we will present the patients with all their options, and then we really help to guide them in the right direction.
Okay, I know this has been talked about for quite a while, for help for cancer patients. How exactly does it help a cancer patient?
Sure. So a lot of our cancer patients coming in are really looking for relief of symptoms related to their diagnosis or related to their treatment for their diagnosis. So, we talked a little bit about cancer-related pain, nausea associated with their chemotherapy treatments. A lot of them also have issues with sleeping at night. A little bit of anxiety related to their diagnosis as well. So we are really there to help improve their quality of life in any aspect that we can.
I think that's wonderful, because going through chemo is it can be very painful, and it disrupts your sleep.
Yes.
I mean, I myself went through chemo, and I was up all night watching late night news. Trust me, ladies, there's really nothing interesting in the middle of the night. So I can understand how you would want to be able to help, patients with these symptoms.
Absolutely.
But now, it isn't just cancer. There are so many other diseases, and there are some that, of course, there's no way I can say them. So this is where, Elizabeth, you're going to come in. But now, what are some of the diseases that you are able to help with symptoms and so forth?
I would say the most common qualifying conditions that we see patients for are chronic pain, PTSD, and then the diagnosis of cancer. Now, recently, the state has broadened the cancer qualifying condition to patients who are in remission therapy. A lot of times they have residual symptoms related to their condition. But also on the list are patients who are terminally ill, autism as a diagnosis, epilepsy, sickle cell disease can be very painful for patients, damage to the nervous tissue of the spinal cord, which again can relate to pain, Parkinson's disease, Huntington's disease. There's a huge variety of conditions, and they're all listed on the Department of Health website.
Is it just for pain?
No, absolutely not.
Because you're going through some of these diseases, and I guess I'm thinking many of our viewers are probably thinking, well, this is just for pain. But it isn't, is it?
No, definitely not. THC is one of the main components of the cannabis plant that we can extract out, put into oils, our topical products. THC has a wide variety of medicinal benefits, can help to reduce nausea, increase appetite, help with insomnia, also helps with muscle relaxation. So when we think of Parkinson's disease or MS patients, they have a lot of muscle spasticity and rigidity. THC helps to reduce that in those patients.
That sounds wonderful.
And I'm just scratching the surface. There's,
I can imagine.
You could go on and on.
Yes.
Well, I sit here and I'm thinking of what both of you were saying, talking about some of the patients that you've talked with, and you become a part of their life, their family almost, right?
Definitely.
Oh, how exciting. Now, but what about costs? Is my insurance going to cover this?
Your insurance is not going to cover this, Judy. I'm sorry to say. As a Schedule I substance at this point in time, and there are no insurance companies that are, no programs that are covering medical marijuana. All the costs are out of pocket. Physicians in the state to certify patients are charging between $150 to $300 to certify a person with one of the 21 medical conditions. Medical marijuana cards can range from $25 to $50. So if somebody is receiving state assistance, they can apply for a reduced fee. Their card would be $25, and that is good for 1 year. The rest of us pay $50 again for a 1 year card. Then individual products in the dispensary across the state can range from $12 to $80, but that doesn't mean that's what a patient is going to pay per month. That's just for individual product.
Oh, okay. So it could last more than a month.
It could last more than a month or less than a month, depending on their tolerances and depending on what products they're using, and if they have a product for the day and a product to sleep at night.
Okay, now when the doctor certifies me, I get my certification from a doctor. How long does that last? Does that have to be renewed every year too, like your card?
Some physicians are requiring a 3-month certification, a 6-month certification. The card from the state is good for 1 year.
Okay.
The physicians have the ability to follow up with their patients, which is a good thing to make sure that they are
That it's
coming
all-
off
right.
the other medications. So that the physicians have an opportunity to
Set their own prices.
set their own prices and their own regulations or their own appointment scheduling.
Okay, out on the horizon, I'm hearing a lot of and seeing a lot of advertisements for CBD oil. What is that? Isn't that pretty much the same thing that you have?
So we carry products that have CBD from the cannabis plant. CBD from hemp is something a little bit different. So when hemp plants are grown, it takes a lot of hemp plants to extract just a little bit of CBD oil. There's not a lot of THC. Most of the products that you can purchase over the counter have 0% THC in them. When we speak about THC and CBD, these are just cannabinoids from the plants. They work synergistically together, so we have found that having THC in a product really kind of boosts the medicinal properties of the CBD.
But the CBD does have properties that would be beneficial
Yes.
to somebody using them.
Yes.
And hemp seed oil, is that pretty much the same thing as CBD oil, or is that something different?
I would have to look into the specific product, but we definitely have a lot of patients who come in asking for recommendations of CBD products over the counter. I always encourage them to do their research on if it's a reputable source of the CBD. Those products don't have to go through the same testing and regulatory procedures that
Okay.
our products do. So, I'm sure there's a lot of wonderful CBD-based products out there, but I really encourage patients to do their research.
Just be careful. Be careful where you
Yes.
get them from.
Yes.
Okay. What is say a patient comes in, do you have like an average cost per patient or anything like that?
It depends on their
Yeah.
tolerances.
Depends on their tolerance, their specific qualifying condition, but we like to work very closely with patients to make sure they're really on the most beneficial products for them. I always try to keep cost in mind for patients because I know at the end of the month after I pay my student loans and my other bills, I certainly don't have an extra couple $100 laying around. So I always try to keep cost in mind when patients come in.
That is so nice because you're right. And a lot of them are on a fixed income,
Yes.
but they've got pain.
Yes.
They have pain or other needs that this is going to be beneficial, and it is giving them good quality of life. And I think that's the important thing that you ladies are doing here and Rise is doing. They're giving people good quality of life, and that's so important.
When we see patients who come in with a walker in March, and by June they're coming in without a walker or a cane, it goes to prove that they're receiving some benefits from these products. Their quality of life is improving, their whole outlook is improving. They're able to spend time with their families, and
That is
that's
wonderful.
That's what it boils down
That
to.
is absolutely wonderful. Now, for our viewers, is there anything you want to relay that we haven't touched base on? Because we are getting to the end of the show. A little bit more about the industry of medical marijuana or anything like that, or the organization that you work for.
So I would just say that medical marijuana is the fastest growing industry in the United States. We have a new cultivation facility that's being built right here in Erie. So we're looking forward to working with a local organization and being able to purchase their products once they get up and running.
That's right. We are going to have an operation here. Where is that again?
I believe they're on 10th and Downing.
Okay.
Calypso Erie is the name of that grow facility. GTI grows in Danville, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
GTI is out of Chicago, but we operate in 8 states and about 25 cities right now. I know Elizabeth has been working very hard to get the Ohio program up and running and working
it's
with
very
those folks.
exciting. Yeah. I just would like to add, if you're a patient who's interested in the program, start the dialogue with your physician. Even if your family physician is not a certifying physician in Pennsylvania, start that dialogue. We certainly understand, medical cannabis is not for everyone, but it's it's a last-ditch effort for a lot of people, you know, kind of a last-line option. And we see a lot of people every single day that have, you know, an improved quality of life or just a little bit of relief, which it can be life-changing. So
That is rewarding.
it's so rewarding.
Oh my
yes.
goodness, when you go home after a day, it's like, oh my gosh, I've helped somebody.
Yes.
Yes.
Makes a big difference just knowing that what you do is so important to somebody, isn't it?
Yes, I
Yes.
certainly love what I get to do every single day. I'm super thankful.
If any of our viewers have any questions, can they call? Can they call Rise?
They can call Rise.
And the number is?
It's
Go ahead.
814-277-2835.
And I know you also have a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook page and a website at risedispensaries.com.
Yes, we field lots of emails every single day from our website page. Sometimes if our phones are a little bit tied up, you know, email can be a little bit easier for some people.
Because I'm sure that our viewers, we couldn't cover everything, and there's a lot more questions that we really just didn't get a chance to cover. So if they've got some questions, because they'll be calling you on a personal, individual basis.
Absolutely.
of
Send
their
them our
concern.
way. We're more than happy to help.
I will.
We've got lots of information that we weren't able to cover.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, ladies. I am so glad to have you in the program. Like I said, I've driven by and said, I got to find out exactly what goes on behind the scenes. And now I know
Thank you.
you're helping people.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
And for taking the time and joining me on the program. Viewers, if you have any questions, please feel free to give them a call. Check out their website. And thank you for tuning in again to the Millcreek Government Channel. Till next time, have a wonderful day.